In this video, I'm going to show you how to avoid spending hours or even days sorting your research photographs into useful groups after a trip to the archives. We're going to automate the process using Confero, but before you begin your photography, you'll need a QR code. Any QR code will do, and there are a variety of apps that create them, but you can also use the QR code packaged with Confero. To do that, open Confero, File, Save QR code. Now I prefer to save it straight to my desktop, so I'm going to do that. And as you'll see, it's right there. Now from here you can save that to a mobile device, move it to your laptop. You can also, of course, open it up and print it as well, if that's what you prefer. All of these options are equally useful. If you do print it, I would recommend that you print more than one copy of it, because inevitably a paper will get folded and things like that, and distortions in the page can impact QR code recognition. I should also mention, if you're going to print it, we recommend that you downsize the image a little bit. So maybe print this at 25%. It'll work either way, but we've had optimal recognition with a slightly more reasonably sized QR code. So now we can go to the archive. Begin by photographing your documents. Obviously this is a very small file folder, but you can encounter much larger ones. The process is the same. When you're done, take a picture of the QR code printout you had before. Now get your next file out. The process again is the same. Take a picture of each page. This time we'll take a picture of a cell phone displaying the QR code. It's a good habit to take two pictures just in case the first one has some glare. So now you've returned from the archive at the end of the day, or perhaps at the end of your research trip, and you're ready to start working with all the images you've captured. So first thing you're going to do is open a Finder window, and you're going to go to your memory stick. You're going to open all your images. Now this is obviously a very small set, but for our demonstration purposes it works fine. The same principles, the same workflows of course apply to much larger sets. So the first thing you're going to do is take all of these images. You're going to click the first one and the last one while holding the Shift key. You're going to open an alternative directory because it's always better not to work with your originals. You're going to go Edit, Copy, over here, Edit, Paste. There they all are. We can close that down. So now normally you'd have to take the time to sit down and sort through all of these images and manually put them into sets. Instead, we're going to open Confero. We're going to go File, Import Images. We'll look for QR codes rather than the other features. If your QR codes have the file naming info embedded in them, you can have Confero extract that data. I haven't done that this time around though. So we're going to leave that unchecked. We're going to select images. Again, click the first image once we're in the right directory. Select the last image while holding the Shift key, and then click Open. Now, Confero is checking every single image for a QR code. When it finds one, it will end that set and begin a new set with the next set of images and continue that repetitious process until it gets to the end. The progress bar will of course show you the progress, how far it is through the images. Now this can take anywhere from a few minutes, as it will here, to several hours to do. While it's going, you can of course work on emails, word processing, surf the web, whatever have you. You can leave the computer of course as well. With really large image sets you can leave it overnight. The point is you don't need to be at the computer working with your images while this process is going on. So, Confero went through all of the images and it found the following sets. So now we're going to name them. So the quickest way to do that, there we go. So let's call this, this is from the Waterloo Regional Archives. We'll go Woolwich County, and then it is 5.3, and then we can't use slashes, so we'll go -305-5. I'm going to hit Enter, or rather Return, and that will automatically name it and move on to the next one. We're going to do the same thing. here. And it's the same file name, except instead of a 5 on the end, it's a 6. And then we'll click Name. There we go. That's all done. Now, obviously, you would continue this process with a larger set, but you can see how quickly you're able to name all of the sets. When you're done, you go File, Export Images. There's a variety of options here. I want to have both copies of the original files, and I want PDFs of each. I'm going to put them in this empty directory right here. So I'm going to click Export. Select that directory, click Open. Confero is now looking through these images and saving them in the formats I've specified. And again, you have the progress bar here, and as you can see, they're coming in. The export is now complete, and we have finished file directories with the images, the originals, preserved for longevity. And then we have multi-page PDFs as well, with the same images, and both the directory and the PDFs have the same name. As you can see, the only time I needed to be in front of my computer actually working with my images was to name them. The entire sorting process and the file creation, whether that be directories or PDFs, is all done in an automated way. And in both cases, I don't need to be at the computer while it's going on. So it literally, Confero literally, as our slogan says, takes hours of organizing work and limits it down to minutes of keyboard time.
To buy Confero or watch more how-to videos, go to waterlooinnovations.com.